Hello, everyone, and welcome to Camp Connections. My name is Jennifer, and I'm going to be your facilitator for the evening. We have many guests on with us tonight, and without further ado, I would love to jump in and start learning all about these wonderful camps. To begin, I would like to introduce Miss Valerie from Camp Chris Williams. Valerie, would you like to take it away and tell us all about Camp Chris?
I'd love to. Thank you so much for inviting all of us to be here tonight. My name is Val, and I am from Camp Chris Williams, sometimes just called CCW. And a little bit about us, we are a 1 week summer camp in the first week of August. We meet every year, the first week of August, for 1 week. It is an overnight camp. So it's not one that they come back and forth. They stay with us throughout the week. We are fully staffed and licensed with the state of Michigan, including we also have a health officer who is licensed to be with us throughout the week. They are there 24/7 with us. We do deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind youth ages 11 to 17. And I'm noticing on the PowerPoint slide here an edit that I didn't notice before that we could call out right now. It says under communication, ASL is primary. That's not necessarily the case. Our goal at Camp Chris Williams is to have all communication welcome at camp, and the staff follows the student's lead. So whatever the students are comfortable with in their communication, we match them. We don't expect them to do anything in particular. We want them just to be teenagers coming to camp and having a fun time at camp. So because of that, we make sure that our staffing is very diverse with deaf and hard of hearing both in our staffing, as well as we have interpreters on site. The interpreters are there for some of the activities are run by hearing facilitators that are licensed for that activity, like our lifeguard, our health officer is hearing. So we use interpreters for that. But also sometimes peer-to-peer interactions, the interpreters help bridge communication gaps. We do find that they only use the interpreters for the first couple days, and then the teenagers want the interpreters to get out of their way, and they figure out their own communication between each other. Again, just saying again, we follow the kids' lead and how they want to communicate at camp. We want them just to come to camp and play. So the cost to camp is $650 by May 1st. And you only need a $50 deposit to secure your spot at camp. And after you do your $50 deposit, we do payment plans. We will work with you. If you're in the middle of trying to get scholarship money in, we'll work with you on that. We're very flexible with that. We just need the $50 deposit to hold your spot in camp. That's the one fee that we absolutely need to make sure you have a place to be able to come. After May 1st, registration goes up to $700, and then the deposit is $100. And we need everything paid or confirmation of scholarships by the 1st of July. That allows us to make sure we have our staffing lined up accordingly. We do a theme every year, and this year our theme is a carnival theme, and we are hoping to capitalize and feature our teenagers and their unique talents, and we're going to have a talent show at camp. We do a lot of, as you can see in the pictures, we do a lot of the normal camp things, swimming and boating and hiking and playing outdoor games. We have a climbing wall, normal camp activities, but in the evenings, we like to do some things like talent shows and skits and just give the kids an opportunity, the teenagers, an opportunity to interact with each other and get to know each other. Um, one more thing I'll mention before we pass it on to the next camp is, again, I just want to reiterate how much we've cherished the teenagers in their comfortability to communicate as they want to. And I could probably go on for days telling stories from camp of campers that have come and didn't know any sign language and were nervous to come and leave camp with best friends of both oral communication and sign communication, and vice versa. We've had students who are very strong signers leave camp with best buds who are just learning sign language for the first time. So it really is a beautiful way to mix those worlds together. And about half of our staff are former campers that are coming back to be staff. So once they reach the age of 18, they can apply to come back to volunteer to be on staff. And that's another really cool feature of Camp Chris Williams is that over half of our staff are returning campers running the camp themselves. So, any questions, just let us know. We're here and our contact information's included.
Thank you so very much for sharing, Val. Here we go. Next up, we have Alex from Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services.
Hi, I am Alex. I'm the youth program assistant at Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services, and I'm in charge of coordinating our kids' camp that we have every summer. Um, do you mind if we go to the next slide? I'm so sorry. There we go. This year, our kids' camp is going to be located at West Oakview Elementary School, and I know it says the dates are to be determined, but we did finally get those solidified. Our dates are going to be August 3rd through the 7th. We do not have registration open yet, but we're hoping to get that out in early spring. And we're going to be sending out our save the dates here pretty soon as well. We have not determined the cost of our camp yet, but we do offer scholarship and financial assistance. Um, and you can contact me or go to our website at deafhhs.org if you have any questions about how to fill out forms for that and who to send it to. Um, our kiddos usually range between the ages of 3 and 12. We do require them to be bathroom independent. Sometimes we do have kiddos that come wearing pull-ups. But usually, if that happens, we ask that like parents volunteer to help with assisting in bathroom help. And then we have a wide array of participants ranging from deaf, deafblind, hard of hearing, hearing siblings and friends. Our camp is a day camp, so we only run from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday for that 1 week. Parents usually will drop their kids off between 8:45 and 9, and then that's when we get started. We do divide our kiddos into 3 different groups depending on age, and each group has a leader. Normally, our leaders are deaf. Sometimes we do have interpreters who will lead the group if we can't find anyone who is deaf that is able to at that time. We also have a wide array of volunteers that help out anywhere between Lansing Community College students. We have high school and middle school students come and volunteer to help out. And then we also have mentees from LCC that come to practice interpreting and learn from interpreters. We do primarily use ASL. We strongly encourage that at our camp, but we do use spoken language as well. It's provided by the interpreters. We'll do different themes for our days as featured. We do coordinate with other camps as well, like the Equest Center. We did that for our Wild West days, where the kids got to learn about horses and how to groom them and the different tools that we use to take care of the horses. They love it. And then another one that we do is a wilderness adventure day where we'll have a local nature center come in and they'll do a wildlife presentation. They'll bring owls. Sorry, my voice is gone. But they'll bring in owls, possums, turtles, and they'll teach the kiddos about that. And we'll go on a nature scavenger hunt in the woods out in the back. And the kids love playing in the creek, which is always a fun time. Um, And I think that's all I have. If you have any questions about Kids Camp, my email is on the screen, and you can always look up more information at deafandhardofhearingservices.com.
Thank you so very much, Alex. Next up, Michelle DeHoe will be speaking on behalf of Brenda Sprunger about Deaf Teen Quest. Michelle, you want to take it away?
Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, my name is Michelle DeHogue. I had the privilege of volunteering for Deaf Teen Quest for the first 6 years that it was here in Michigan. And unfortunately, the director, Brenda, wasn't able to be here tonight, so I'm just filling in. So Deaf Teen Quest is a little different than some of the other camps that we're talking about tonight in that DTQ actually meets all year round. It is for middle school and high school deaf and hard of hearing students. So this is the kind of thing that a student would get dropped off to DTQ and then picked up at the end. It's not a family event. It's not something that siblings go to or that parents stay for. So the best, simplest way to describe DTQ is it's basically youth group for deaf kids. So it is a faith-based organization. It is one of the ministries under the umbrella of Youth for Christ. And Deaf Teen Quest meets in Grandville, Michigan, so the greater Grand Rapids area, on the first and third Tuesday of every month after school. So students could show up anytime after school, and then the official stuff starts around 5:30. They'll have dinner together, play games. There's usually a Bible lesson, small groups, things like that. One of the really cool things about DTQ is there are leaders and lots of teens, and these relationships are being built throughout the year. And so, I mean, I could tell you stories of times when I went to a student's house late at night to help navigate a tricky situation at home, or taking a kid out for coffee, or meeting up for ice cream with other kids that was outside of club time. They do have camp some summers that the kids that are plugged into DTQ can go to. My understanding is they're not doing camp this year, but in the summer they'll break from the that first and third Tuesday schedule, and instead they'll have some like summer outings, maybe to the beach or tubing or go to a park or a game night. So they'll do some fun things in the summer. It's a great way to get connected. And really, like, I've seen so many kids who, regardless of what home was like, regardless of what school was like, our deaf kids just tend to feel isolated, right? Like, even if at home we're doing everything we can, they're in a hearing world. And so DTQ is a space where they can just be themselves. If they sign, pretty much everything is done in sign. If they don't know sign, there will be one or more leaders to help navigate language and communication. Doesn't matter if they're deaf, hard of hearing, oral, signing, doesn't matter. They're all welcome. It has tended to be mostly sign over the last 7 or 8 years that it's been here. But that's just by way of the kids that have come. So, and I know lots of oral kids have come too and loved it and have deep friendships there too. So, yeah, it's like I said, a Christian organization, and they meet year round. So it's a really, really great space for those middle and high school DHH kids to get connected.
Thank you so much for sharing, Michelle. I look forward to having my teenager join some of these wonderful opportunities. Next up, we have beQuest Center, and Marie will be sharing about beQuest. Take it away, Marie.
Hi everybody. A lot of you guys I know already. Some of you I don't. My name is Marie DeRegnacourt, I've been at eQuest Center for 26 years this year. I started out as a camper during one of their summer camps when I was 12, and I just never left. I'm also a full-time sign language teacher at Northview High School, and I also am the coordinator for Northview PA in Grand Rapids, which is a deaf resource and community expo. So eQuest Center is in Rockford. It's just north of town. We service ages 2 to 100. We use a total communication approach. The Deaf and Hard of Hearing program is quite new. We are just starting out to kind of get our feelers out there. This has been like my dream project since I was a teenager, and it's finally coming to fruition. When we've had events, they've been very successful. We have Deaf and Hard of Hearing services out in the summertime, and we have had so much fun hosting them. We are trying to get some students to have some like weekly writing lessons, which would be done in total communication. So whatever their communication preferences are, we would be accommodating to that. I'm also a certified teacher of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. So I have a year-long curriculum for our weekly lessons that would be tailored specifically for development, advocacy, and vocabulary for deaf and hard of hearing. So let's see here. We on horseback, we work on balance and coordination. We work on self-advocacy and confidence. So like a lot of times kids who are deaf have a hard time speaking up, or they'll just kind of go with the flow. And I specifically put obstacles in and around the arena so that they have to problem solve and advocate for themselves to either continue riding or to get help reaching something, or to figure out communication with somebody who maybe doesn't sign. I mean, there's so many pieces to the curriculum that it's been really fun to kind of troubleshoot them with some of the groups we've had out. We're doing quarterly events right now until we can get some bigger numbers. So our next quarterly event is going to be late spring, early summer. And then we'll have Deaf and Hard of Hearing services out in August. And then we're going to have a fall one and then a winter one. And so we'll just kind of rotate quarterly and build our numbers as we go.
Thank you so much for sharing, Marie. Thanks. Next up, we have Allison Burke, who is sharing on behalf of Tandy Lewis about Gallaudet University Summer Youth Programs.
Good evening, everyone. This is Allison. I'm with Michigan Hands and Voices. Unfortunately, Tandy was unable to make it last minute, so I will just present on her behalf. If you have any questions that I cannot answer, please feel free to enter it into the chat, and I will send those along. Or I can just give you her contact information directly if you'd rather reach out to her yourself. So Gallaudet has 6 really exciting programs they're offering this summer. So the first one is called Discover College and Careers, or DC Squared. This is a program where students are able to work on developing their transition plans, identify their interests and skills through career assessments, and explore potential careers within the programs that are offered at Gallaudet. Which includes over 60 options. So very exciting. This is for grades 10th through 12th. And it does come with a $1,000 scholarship towards Gallaudet's university once completed. They also get to immerse themselves in the campus life and explore DC and all that DC has to offer. This is a residential camp, so they will stay there. Lodging, meals, and transportation is all included. So the second is DC Squared in STEM. This is very similar, but we'll focus on those STEM fields. So that would include science, technology, engineering, and math studies. They will get to identify their strengths and interests through career assessments and also develop their transition portfolio. This is also a residential camp on the campus. They'll get to experience that campus life feel and explore DC. This is same grades, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And it's at the same time as the other Discover College and Careers camp. Third on this slide is the Financial Wizards. So this again is very similar, but we'll focus on that financial literacy skills aspect of things. And they will have the opportunity to explore careers in finance or administration. This one is free and it is generously covered by CSD, or the Communication Services for the Deaf. This is also a residential camp, so all of those same things are included, but is a great way for students to learn, financial responsibility and careers. Next slide, please. Thank you. So one more camp that is during that same week in June is the Immersion or Immerse into ASL. So this is a 24/7 American Sign Language immersion program. And it's actually designed for newer signers, those that are at that beginning or intermediate level. And this actually includes deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing students. However, hearing students do need to have at least an intermediate level and kind of that serious want to move forward in some kind of career or interest in ASL. This is, again, a residential camp. And they also get to kind of have that same experience of college life and explore DC and all it has to offer. So for the younger crowd, there is another program called Got Skills. This is for grades 7th through 9th, again, residential. It's a little earlier in June, but this is kind of a build your own experience camp. So students will get to kind of pick and choose and create what they want to do with their camp. And they can focus on different things from sports, esports, arts, theater, debate. They have an academic bowl competition. They can explore different museums, including Smithsonian, the National Zoo, and all the wonderful things DC has. Again, this is also that residential feel, the lodging and meals and transportation are all covered. And then finally, they have one that's a little bit different. This is in Juneau Beach, excuse me, Florida. So what's kind of cool about this one is that participants get to immerse themselves in a coastal habitat. They get to enjoy snorkeling and paddling excursions, learning how to rescue sea turtles, which sounds really exciting. And they get to spend the day in the life of like a marine biologist. This is for grades 9th through 12th. And this is also free and is a partnership with a Loggerhead Marine Life Center in Florida. This is only a day camp, however, so a parent would probably have to go down. You want to find a hotel or somewhere to stay nearby, but it is a day program from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they get to experience all these really cool things. So if you have a camper that's interested in that marine life, this is a really great opportunity. As far as funding, scholarships and things go, Gallaudet does offer scholarships. In order to be awarded one, a student would have to show kind of their tax forms and the need for that financial assistance, as well as submit a letter for why they deserve the scholarship. They also accept vocational rehabilitation scholarships. So in Michigan, that would be called the Michigan Rehabilitation Services. And your student would need to apply for that ahead of time and be accepted into VR services. They would then have to build, after acceptance, they would build an IPE, which is an individual plan for employment. And then they would include in that why Gallaudet is important to their future education and career planning. So if you have any questions, please feel free again to put that into the chat and I will be sure to pass it along. But otherwise, that's all I have for Gallaudet.
Thank you so much for sharing, Miss Allison. We'll come back to you again in a little bit. Next up, we have a message from Erica Scorpio from the Holly Family Village. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this for you guys. I'm going to restart this video. I apologize. I didn't know that if I was muted, it would mute her as well. So let's go back to the beginning and try that again. Maybe if my video is going as well, is it a lag? I'm going to try one more time like this. See if that'll work. Well, I am very sorry that this video does not seem to be working for us this evening. However, I have attended the Holly Family Village several times, and I would be happy to share a little bit on Holly's behalf. The Holly Family Village is located in Brooklyn, Michigan, and it is one of the very few camps that you can bring your entire family to. During family weeks, which is June 28th through July 3rd, excuse me, they have a 0 to 7 family camp. And that camp invites the entire family to come. It costs $175 per child and $275 per adult. And that includes lodging and all meals. The camp is a very unique experience in that they have camp counselors who almost primarily use ASL to communicate. So it is an immersion experience for your family. They break it down into sessions. So for each of the family weeks, they have 3 different family weeks here. Yes. What they do is they have your children go with camp counselors in the morning, while the parents will go into an educational seminar type program where they bring in different professionals to speak on different topics that are appropriate for your age group. As I said, the tuition includes the lodging, the meals, the programs. It's a really super fun camp. I have been there many times myself, and I have really enjoyed it. It's been an exceptional experience for both myself as a parent and for both of my children, one of which is hard of hearing and the other one is hearing. And it has very much enriched our lives. They also have, during Family Week 3, there is a program for deaf, blind, and hard of hearing parents with CODA or deaf, blind, or hard of hearing children, ages 0 to 17. And then they do a teen week as well. And this is a drop off. So you drop your teenager off and they will take care of those kids. They do a great job of making sure they have a great time while developing community and enjoying all that the camp has to offer. It is on a wonderful lake, and they have boating opportunities and kayaking opportunities. They swim every day. What else I can share about the camp other than it's wonderful? They also do an ASL Immersion Week, which is July 26th through the 31st. And that is for adults who wish to increase their ASL skills. You can go with very, very little to no ASL exposure or experience. And it is a jump on in and figure it out. Or you can go with a lot of experience and work on perfecting your skills. It's really great for everyone and a great time to make more community. I'm going to move along to our next presenter now. Next up, we have Lions Bear Lake with Melissa. Melissa, if you'd like to take it away.
Sorry, I was hitting the wrong button. This is Melissa, Melissa Bainan. I am the program coordinator for Lions Bear Lake Camp. Could you go to the next slide, please?
Hopefully.
Thank you. So Lions Bear Lake Camp is in Lapeer, Michigan. For our deaf and hard of hearing population, we offer two options. We have a week-long youth camp, and we also have a weekend family camp. So I'll talk a little bit about both. Lions Bear Lake Camp is a camp for children who have atypical hearing and primarily use listening and spoken language. During our week-long camp, which this summer is July 12th through the 18th, the campers stay overnight in cabins. The cost is $100 per camper, and that's for the entire week. And the age that we service for camp is 6 to 16. So once our campers hit 15, they do what we call leadership development, which is a program to help them learn life skills and character building skills. And often those campers come back to be staff members. So while at camp, the children are divided into cabin groups, which is by gender and age. And for our evening activities, they travel as a cabin, but during the day, they're divided by age, and it's a mix of genders. So we have different, we call those color groups. They travel around the camp and they do your typical camp activities. Archery and fishing. We have a rock wall and a zip line. They do what we call team building, which is that picture that you can see, not the group picture, but the other one, where they're challenged to complete tasks where they have to work together. And the focus is communicating. So our staff really back up and let them kind of take the reins in communicating. And it's really incredible to watch them go from everybody talking at the same time to really paying attention and designating someone to speak and taking turns. It's a really neat experience to watch. So during the day, they're traveling around for those different types of activities. They also go swimming every day at our waterfront. Our waterfront staff is trained along with all of the other staff members, the regular camp staff who are there all summer. I spend some time with them and teach them some things about equipment and communicating with someone who uses hearing assistive technology, some troubleshooting techniques. So everybody has had at least some training when it comes to equipment and communicating with somebody that has atypical hearing. Down at the waterfront, we have very strict procedures when it comes to equipment. We've been doing it for a long time, and I feel pretty good about what we have in place. We've not lost much equipment to the water and sand. Like I said, evening activities, those vary each day. We have done movie nights. We have had carnivals. We have done big group camp games. And then on Friday, we always traditionally have a dance, which is by far everybody's favorite. On Saturday, the families come to pick their child up, and something we do all week is work on what we call showtime. That is a play. So we have a theme, and each color group has a book, and they build a play. They come up with the lines, they come up with the story, if it's going to stick to what the book says or if it's going to vary. They create all the props. They learn stage etiquette. Um, yeah, it's really incredible to see an entire play come together in about 5 days. So the parents come and they're able to watch the performance before they go home. As far as staff outside of the regular camp staff, I am there all week. I am a certified teacher of the deaf, also listening and spoken language certified educator. This will be my 19th summer at camp, and I am currently the program director for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing in Trenton. With myself, there are 3 other certified teachers of the deaf that are there and remain there for the entire week. So we've got a lot of experience at camp, like I said, for troubleshooting and things like that. I think that's all the information I can give you about week long, because I know I can't talk for hours. Our weekend camp is for families. So this year it's July 24th through the 26th. So you come on a Friday, you leave on a Sunday. It's overnight. You have a cabin with your family, and depending on how many families we have, sometimes you're paired with another family in a cabin. But if you've never been to Bear Lake Camp, everything is really nice. The cabins are very nice. The bathrooms are very private. During the weekend camp, the kids are taken to do camp activities while the parents get to sit with each other, and also we bring in some special guests. If we usually ask the year before what parents would like. Sometimes they want to talk to an audiologist. Sometimes they would like a speech pathologist, or they want to talk to deaf adults. So dependent on what our survey said from the year before, we bring in some speakers. There are group family activities and competitions. There's swimming. It's a really neat weekend. And also, if you have a child that isn't sure if they're ready for the week-long camp, that's a great opportunity to get them familiar with camp and to get them familiar with the counselors and staff members. We have a very high rate of returning staff members who the majority are past campers. So that's also a great opportunity for our kids. The kids are in cabins with adults who are also charging cochlear implants and putting hearing aids in dry boxes and things like that. So again, most of our staff for counselors and cabin leaders have been past campers for our DHH camp or our visually impaired camp. Again, my name is Melissa Bainan. My email address is there. I'm happy to answer any questions that may come up. The website you'll get when you get the additional information. There is something I forgot to mention, an open house, I believe in June. And you do have to RSVP, but it's open to anyone. And then you can just kind of get a lay of the land if you're interested in seeing what the camp looks like and has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Melissa. Next up, we have Amanda Schneider and Jill Teagarden. with MDE RDHH.
Hello, everyone. My name's Jill. I am the camp director at Camp Tusmahita, which is operated by the Michigan Department of Education, Resource for Deaf, Hard of Hearing. We are located in Greenville, Michigan, in Northeast Kent County, and we're going to focus today on our June program that we have for a summer camp for students. But I just want to make note that we are open year round and we offer different programs throughout the year for students as well as some family programs. The one that we'll focus on today, though, will be held June 12th through the 14th. It's a Friday through Sunday. The cost of that program is $5 a student. The age range that we're focusing on this year is 10 through 17. We have all modes of communication are welcome. We have interpreters available if needed on site. We have a variety of camp activities for students to participate in. The camp is approximately 300 acres. It's mostly wooded. We have a waterfront. We have a climbing tower, challenge course. At the waterfront, we have fishing and boating. We have hiking trails, archery. We have a new science and nature center and a recreation center. So if the weather turns bad for any reason, we can head indoors. We try not to spend too much time inside, especially in the summer months, but those are always options for us. We have a variety of opportunities when the campers are there just to have fun and engage in each other with each other and just work on communication and just being kids at camp. So that's our main focus, is for them just to have fun and gain a good experience while they're there. We have we don't have it listed on here, but I just want to make note because I'm sure we have some moms out there. We have a mom's weekend that's coming up in April, and it's open to not only our deaf, hard of hearing parents or parents who have students who are deaf, hard of hearing, but also to parents who have students who are blind or low vision. So it's a time when we bring kids together or parents together at camp just to engage and kind of have a time to step away and relax and enjoy. So that is another opportunity if you're interested. It's not specifically for students, but it's for moms or caregivers that just need a break too. So that's an opportunity too. And you can reach us, or if you want more information about that, you can reach out to our camptusmahita.org and gather more information about that. And you can feel free to email any questions that you may have as well. And I know, Amanda, you're on as well. So I don't know if you want to share anything about camp that I might have missed or you want to highlight.
Yeah, this is Amanda Schneider. I am a deaf and hard of hearing education consultant with MDE RDHH. We are really excited about our camp this weekend camp. Last year we had 18 campers. We're hoping again to have a large group. We will have on staff deaf and hard of hearing teacher consultants available for students. And we also now have the camp equipped with sound field systems and also have remote microphone technology. So that's another opportunity for kids to connect if that's the mode of communication and technology that they utilize. One last program I just want to highlight that we offer at Camp T is our Little Explorers program. That happens every other month. So their next one is in May. And that's for families who have young children, ages 0 to 5. And we do something similar to a library story time for families with a book and hands-on activities, but it's made accessible to our families and kind of focuses on language development. So please check out our website for those extra events that we host at Camp T, and we hope to have some of your kids there this summer.
Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing. I also noticed that Amanda shared some information in the chat box for their upcoming events, if you'd like to check that out. Up next, we have Miss Erin here from NTID to share about some of the National Technical Institute for the Deaf programs going on this summer. Erin, if you'd like to take it away.
Sorry, one. Hello, my name's, hold on one second. We're gonna start the, one second. Hello, my name is Aaron Clegg. Just I uploaded the slides here, so if the interpreter missed any of the things that I'm gonna say, it's more streamlined. My name is Aaron Clegg. I work at NTID, National Technical Institute for the Deaf, NTID for short. It's the college in Rochester Institute of Technology, short for RIT, and that's in Rochester, New York. We offer three programs for the deaf and hard of hearing and hearing students for grades 10 through 12 for fall of 2026. We also have a computer building summer program for the deaf and hard of hearing middle schoolers, students that are 7th through 9th grade. That's also offered in the fall of 2026. This program is 5 days. It's an overnight camp here at Rochester Institute of Technology campus. The students, the cost of the program itself is $900. We ask for a $150 deposit, and the total cost again is $900. This includes meals, lodging. We offer airport shuttles and linens for a small fee. Students who wish to go, if they want to go like to one or two programs, like let's say they go for the first week and they want to go to the next week, we cover their stay, we cover their meals, and some of the activities and things between programs at no cost. Each program is teaching the deaf and hard of students, is taught by deaf and hard of hearing staff from NTID. We can accommodate different communication modes and needs as planned. We have interpreters. We have the audio systems. We have the captions where you can kind of take an iPad and go around from each room. We also have counselors who can sign and speak, or they can do both for total communication. We offer Pro Tactile for deaf blind. So if you guys want to, if they want to join as well for the program, students who attend our career program will have like a one-on-one career counselor, and they will have a career assessment that they can bring home with them as well. For the vocational, the VR, that we will cover that program as well for pre-employment transition program fees. So we want to make sure that we can get those ready. So if you're a VR volunteer, we can get that covered for you through this program. It can cover more than one. Sometimes we have two VRs as well. We also offer financial assistance, whether it's the full program fee or maybe you need assistance for travel costs being covered. And probably maybe you can do partial as well. We can do that. It depends on what your needs are and what your desires are. Please go ahead and fill that out if you're not sure if you can afford the program or not. Also, the Explorer, the Future Explorer, the EYF program, that's one of the special programs we offer here that helps students explore different career interests, such as the arts, maybe business, maybe engineering, maybe going to the technology field, science, and they will have the opportunity to come and check these out. And we'll be led by our volunteer staff here as well. This is a big program. We offer 2 sessions. One week is a big one, and then the next one is the big one as well. The Advanced Technical Career, the ATC for short, and the Healthcare Exploration Program, HCCP, for short. Those are really special programs that are more specialized in certain interests. And the advanced technical career could be you could be in cybersecurity, learning how to program robots of those natures. For the healthcare exploration program, they have like deaf nurses, doctor visits, and they can discuss how they can get into the medical field and do specialized hands-on experience. They'll do sewing and they'll stitch, like example, if it's like how blood work works, how ambulance and emergency responses work, how do you address these particular situations. It's an amazing experience and it's fun. Technical Tigers is our middle school program. This program is unique because these students can build their own PC. They're learning about their computer technologies and how it works, what functions they have, and they can become more knowledgeable about computers and how to use them. Students themselves will build them and then bring them home, and it's theirs to keep. Not only do they build the PCs, but they also learn about how to stay safe on the internet, using a computer appropriately and having a certain responsibility with that. In the evenings, all of our programs, we go out and have fun. We do like a bowling night, we go amusement parks, or we have a gym night. We have a variety of cultural dinner nights. We do dancing parties. So every day is a fun experience. Your children will have a fun experience for sure, and they'll make new friends from all over the United States. We also have what's like like kind of getting an immersion of what's college life looks like, what the food meals look like. They could also possibly see what their future would look like and how bright it is. After high school, they will have a bright future and they will see that. There's a lot of information on here. If you have any questions, please email me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing, Aaron. All right, next up, we have Julie from Deafblind Central, who's here to share about some of the program offerings they have this summer. Take it away, Julie.
Hi, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I wanted to just share before I even go on that I am going to be sending a whole list of dates of the camps that I'm talking about, even more than here, but I hesitated to put them on the slide for the reason that you're going to hear in a minute. So just know that I know Allison is going to make that available. So Deafblind Central, if you're not aware, is a wonderful federal grant program that is their primary purpose is to provide support for both families and individuals who with deaf blindness, and also they work with staff working with students who have deaf blindness, and they have many events and programs, and if you go on their website you can take advantage of all of that. And I do work with them. And so I was asked to do this from Beth Kennedy, who is the fearless leader of that department. One of the things that I really wanted to say is that in the 33 years that I've been teaching visually impaired students and students with deaf blindness, is that one thing that I found is that many families that I've worked with have had the most amazing experiences in the camps for deaf and hard of hearing that are available. But these students that I'm talking about have deaf blindness. And because it's so unique for each student, what I found was that the students that I really felt would benefit from the total access of a camp for the blind or visually impaired, that piece was missing. And so the part of the reason that I didn't put all of it on here is that any family that has a child with a dual sensory loss most probably has a teacher consultant for the visually impaired, and that will be your amazing link to getting your children into these programs if it's something that, once you talk to them, if it's something that you feel that they'll benefit from. So some of the people on, I mean, Camp T is the most amazing place. Lions, Bear Lake. I know these people, even though they're from the DHH part. But what has happened is in the past probably 6 years, I've worked with those camps. There's also MDE, RBLV, which is the resource for blind and visually impaired. I've worked with that camp to actually uh, take some of the students with deaf blindness to give them that blind access piece that they might not get totally in the DHH part of the camp. So many of the students that I've had in the last 6 years have spent every summer doing parts of DHH camp, and then the ones with dual sensory loss, because I also do work with exclusively blind and visually impaired students as well. But in particular, the students with dual sensory loss, they have actually done DHH camps and the same summer done the blind and low vision camps. And so I wanted to make families aware of that because it can be very, very beneficial. There are some amazing programs. I've had students that have gone to the Helen Keller National Center for their summer youth vocational program. If they're a client, and this is why the teacher of the visually impaired would be important, if they're a client of the Bureau of Services for Blind Persons, almost in every instance that I've sent kids there, that whole cost is picked up. I've worked many times with Deafblind Central they've generously offered to help support having an intervener when necessary for the student who's deafblind if they have an intervener at school. And those interveners, along with even some of the interveners are deaf themselves. And so there's also been interpreters that have been both at Lions Bear Lake Camp for Blind and Low Vision and Camp T. And when I hear the stories about how wonderful it was on both sides for the staff and for the student, it just warms my heart. So there are so many opportunities. Leader Dogs for the Blind has an amazing teen summer camp. One thing that I think people might not know, if you do, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it again, is that they have a dog guide trainer. The kids go there for a few days in the summer. They get work on their cane skills. And if they're deaf-blind, there's a dog guide trainer who only works with deaf-blind individuals. So we've had many of our students go and even just explore the camp, even if they're not interested in getting a dog, even in the future, because it really hones up on those necessary expanded core curriculum skills that all kids with vision loss need. So I'm hoping that just by saying all of that, once I send the information, just people will be aware and ask your teacher consultant for the visually impaired if you have a dual sensory learner. And I'm certain they'll be happy to help you navigate. There's plenty of resources and many more camps than just what I listed, but I will share the dates and everything of those with Allison, and I appreciate your time. And I didn't, I thought it was on there. I will also put my email and phone number as a contact so that if anybody has any questions, they can just call or email me.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate all this wonderful information, Julie. And we will be sending up a follow-up document with a lot of information that we've shared already this evening, including dates and ages. And next up, we have Allison Burke, who is going to be sharing about children's special healthcare services and some wonderful opportunities to fund these adventures. Miss
Thank
Allison?
you. Thank you, Jen. This is Allison with Michigan Hands and Voices again. So yes, in addition to sharing some of these camps, we also wanted to discuss children's special health care services and how they help to give financial support to going to camp, which a lot of people aren't aware of. So Children's Special Health Care Services is a Michigan health program. It helps children and some young adults with certain medical conditions, and that does include deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf blind. So as far as camps go, you can apply for Children's Special Health Care Services to assist in covering for camp costs when the camp meets specific medical needs of the individual. So for our deaf and hard of hearing students, that would include deaf and hard of hearing camps because they do focus on things like communication access, technology supports, and have medically appropriate supervision. So who can apply? So those who are already enrolled in Children's Special Health Care Services can apply for these scholarships starting January 1st of the year. And then those who are not currently enrolled can still apply, but they have to wait until April 1st, and they'll also have to provide a clinician's letter of proof of diagnosis. So scholarships are first come, first served. So this is for children and youth up to 21 years of age. Children's will grant up to $500 per child per camp. And they will also do up to 10 scholarships per camp per year. So say you apply for a certain camp and they've already granted 10 scholarships to that camp, they won't grant it to you. But they will do up to 10 scholarships per camp. So this is an application that is online and can be filled out if this is something that would benefit your family, and I will include that in the email. Along with everybody's contact information and all this wonderful stuff you're learning about today. Should you decide to fill out an application, once you submit it, the camp will then be responsible for filling out a registration verification form. So that will be on the camp's end. And then also you will have to make sure you send in that clinician's letter if you are not currently enrolled with Children's. Children's Special Health Care Services will directly fund the camp. So this is not a reimbursement. So you do not want to pay for that out of pocket and then ask for reimbursement. Also keep in mind that this is a 3 to 4 week process, sometimes 6 weeks even. So make sure you apply for those early before camp starts. If you do have any other questions about children's special health care, feel free to put that into the chat, and I will be sure to try to get that answered for you. Next slide, please. So in addition to these amazing camps we've talked about, obviously, this is just a small glimpse into all of the amazing deaf and hard of hearing camps available in the United States. So I did want to just quickly share, and this will also be emailed to you, that the American Society for Deaf Children, or ASDC, website does maintain a page where they every year will post camp flyers for the year. In 2024, they also came up with a compiled list of camps through all the states. And I will send that link as well. So you can kind of peruse that and see what else is out there. Because whether you're looking for a new experience or maybe try a different location, or maybe there's other specialized programs, this is just a really great resource to further your knowledge on camps. Then I want to go to the next slide again, Jen. And I just want to wrap up really quick on the Hands and Voices stuff. So before I pass this to our facilitator, Jen, to take on any questions, I did want to just share that Michigan Hands and Voices always has some fun summer programming planned. Every summer, we've been working really hard to make sure we have different summer park meetups. We try to have these in different locations throughout the state. So I personally do host the ones over on the west side. I know Jen hosts quite a few on the east side. We have some in Lansing. Sometimes we have them up north as well. And it's just a great way to get families and kids together in the summer. If you find that your area does not have a park meetup, you can always let us know and we can help you create one. We can support you on that because we would love to help you find families and friends in your area. In addition to the summer meetups, this year we are having our annual summer picnic and we are celebrating our 10th birthday, which is exciting. So that will be on August 8th. It will be at Potter's Park Zoo in Lansing. It will be free to members and will also include being able to go into the zoo for free. We will hopefully have games and prizes for kids and food and cake, and it'll just be a really great time. So put that on your calendar and hopefully we will see you there.
Thank you so much, Miss Allison, for all the hard work you've done in collecting all this information. And thank you to all of our presenters who came on this evening to share about their camps. We have some of them still on, and I would love to get to answering questions. So if we could stop our recording.